away. This is Jenkins with the handle, defended by DiVincenzo. Again, Detroit won this head-to-head meeting going away on Saturday. Minnesota looking for revenge, and there's Dennis Jenkins right on two bones.
Early attack, and the matchup between Gobert and Duren, as we mentioned in the open, is going to be significant as well. Two guys who do play down low. Not a lot of stretch five ball going on in these lineups to start the game.
Two guys with the highest two-point attempt rate in the NBA. This is DiVincenzo from downtown off the heel. Asar Thompson the board. Both these teams coming off a win following a loss. This is Robinson. Floater in the paint is Pure.
That's a great hesitation by Duncan, knowing that they're going to trail over every screen he's at to take him off the three-point line, so the mid-range shot typically open for Duncan Robinson.
Randall. Toss it inside. Gobert made the catch and is fouled.
On the defensive end of the court, I know there's a lot of shiny objects out there defensively across the league that are getting every night to be competitive.
And he just continues to block out all the noise. So much criticism of his game. He's a four-time Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. He splits a pair at the free throw line. Pistons by 3. Robinson defended by the veteran Conley. Rudy Gobert, nearly on cue, had a steal on Duren. Duren recovers, got it back, got the leg.
Jalen Duren has some of the best hands in the league, and even though bobbling those, it felt like he was in control. As long as he can see it, typically he can grab it.
DeSumo, outside to Randall, flicks the wrist, got a tray. Chris Finch told us before the game his three-point shooting was not great for a stretch, but it's starting to come around.
Even watching Julius in warm-ups, just shaking his head at every miss, it's a good sign early on.
Jenkins rolls in a trifecta. What a story for Dennis Jenkins. Oh, a steal. Thompson to thievery and fouled from behind by DeSumo. Thompson missing at the free throw. Twin brother in Houston. That jump shot comes along. I mean, there'll really be a problem. They're already a problem. But that's the one.
They're 23 years old. There still is some time, but the defense is so elite.
Yes.
That's why they're earning their minutes.
Conley, too strong. Gobert, the offensive board. Gobert taking his time. Over to Randall. Randall utilizing the Gobert screen. Short on a three. And Robinson chased down the board and saved it. Duren will bring it up. That's what makes him dangerous. Near crossover, turned it over. This is DeSumo wide open and drains the three.
The flow of traffic defensively got to everybody but Ayo. Spotted up at the three-point line. An easy feed from Mike Conley for that three.
Jenkins spinning. Toss out. Now Thompson will hand it off to Robinson. Back to Thompson. Cut off by Gobert. Dump off to Duren. Duren through the contact. Lays it in.
You don't see Jalen Duren hesitating much, but he knew Rudy was there. Wanted to make sure he had his timing right before scoring that bucket in the paint.
This is DiVincenzo. Out to DeSumo. That one is long. And the Timberwolves, 2 for 6, have not attempted a single shot inside the three-point arc. And that pass too high, but a foul is called. Conley can't believe it.
Ability, trying to find some cutters as Detroit looks to find space and keep Gobert away from the lane.
This is Jenkins. Can't hit the J. And here comes Randall the other way, averaging 21 points per contest. Conley. Back to Randall. Will the Timberwolves attempt a two-point shot? DeSumo, double crossover. Toss out to Conley. They will not. Conley going from downtown.
Well done.
Mike Conley. 38 years young. This is Duren going at Gobert once again. He's coming off a 31-point effort in the last win for the Pistons over Toronto on Tuesday. Between the leg pass to Conley.
For him offensively. 30-point game. He's had 8 of them this year, only 1 last season.
There's is for Detroit. That's what Jaden McDaniels is for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, and actually because of the way his game has grown offensively,
yes.
He's had some nights that are upper tier on that end, and they're going to need him back if they're going to go anywhere.
Yeah, he's made a leap offensively for sure. Duren staying with it, scores once again. Duren already a problem in this one. He has 8 points. Mid-range J won't go for Randall. Thompson the board, tiptoeing the sideline. Got it ahead to Robinson. Robinson nearly lost it. to Jenkins. Rises and connects.
That's a tough shot. You go backdoor full speed. You put on the brakes. And to be able to get your balance. Dennis Jenkins, nice jump shot there, mid-range.
Jenkins and Duren, 15 of Detroit's 18 points thus far. Randall going to work through contact and earned a trip to the line.
Knows himself, and who bet on himself. After Detroit had offered him a minimum contract, he said, I'm not at a position they have needed, and every night he's shown up.
Randall good at the free throw line. It's 18-14 Detroit. Here is Jenkins being defended by DeSumo. Jenkins, nice pass. Harris got the lay. Right on cue. Jenkins with the assist.
I love it when you give the script to the players. Dennis Jenkins making that play.
How about DeSumo? Another guy stepping up when needed.
I said, both of these guys, just huge pieces of the close to this season with things still at stake.
And thank you, KP. This is Robinson from deep. Swish. Duncan Robinson. 72% of his points come from downtown. He gives the Pistons a 6-point advantage. Tobias Harris had to go back to the locker room. DiVincenzo, 360 kick out. This is Bones Highland on the drive. Stops, pops, hits.
We talked about a guy taking advantage of his opportunity. Bones, no different, has been a huge offensive spark for them.
DeSumo, the steal. Highland chases it down and his foul. He's excelled.
And both him and DeSumo, as Nas Reed takes a deep one. I love the nickname they have, the Twin Turbos, playing together. There's been some positive moments for those two.
Yeah, that's a bad pass. As the Pistons sure-handed veteran. DeSumo. In a crowd, tried to go glass. No. Gobert, the offensive board, out to Highland. Highland will attack Duren. Highland to the rack.
I think Duren got a piece of that as well. So lucky for Bones, that one creeps in, getting past Duren.
2-point ball game. There's a blur there from Dennis Jenkins. Can't hit the lay. DeSumo, pass to the rim, blocked. Duren got a piece of that one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that speed, though, coming from Minnesota.
LeVert won't take the three. Got it back from Duren. LeVert can't go glass. That ball will ricochet into the hands of Green. Herter. Spin it away from trouble. Herter to Duren for the lay. Oh, beautiful feed. Alexander, the number 2 leading scorer in the NBA. That'll be a fun one. Kevin Harlan, Steve Nash, Stan Van Gundy.
Luke has gone so Hollywood.
Luke's gone Hollywood. He's gone Hollywood.
What a month of March he had.
This is Marcus Sasser on the drive down the lane, and Shannon got his hand caught in the cookie jar for the Timberwolves. No Anthony Edwards. Illness.
So much talk about the 65-game rule, and it's going to be really interesting, I think, Brady, at the end of the year to see if the league does make an amendment, given the participation, the statistical contributions that have been made by these guys this year. It's been historical, and it'd be a shame 10 years from now to look back and not give these guys the shine and the awards and the accolades that they deserve for performing the way they have.
To your point, Anthony Edwards may end up playing 64 games this season.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right, and maybe the league will do right.
That is Karis LeVert with a nice-looking J from the corner. Pistons with the 35-31 advantage. Highland tried a corkscrew pass that was easily intercepted. Detroit the other way. LeVert going at Reed. Got by him. Finished with the left.
Just great job of keeping the floor spread on the backside. No chance for Kyle Anderson to come over and be a detractor on that play. Good aggressive drive.
7 unanswered by the Pistons to start the second quarter. Randall drawing a crowd. 3 defenders. Gave it up to Shannon. Shannon splits the D. Outside Reed. 3-ball corner pocket. Of this second quarter for Minnesota. This is LeVert on the other corner. Air ball. Highland hit the turbo button. Over to Shannon. Shannon 2 more.
I wonder how many times Bones Highland's been in the open floor and has to throw ahead. Yeah, he's out there so fast, but Terrence Shannon, another great finish in transition, and the 2-on-1, a benefit to Minnesota out and running.
That pass to Herter, and just a lack of defensive awareness there. That ball just dropped into Herter's lap. And foul on the floor. James Capers all over it. Holland got upholding the call on the floor as Highland misses the three. And as a ball, as the offensive player, as Reed got the block there.
All of issues is to not bring emotion into the discussion, and obviously you can see JB and Nas cooler heads prevailing. But he did get taken off his intended path, and I think even though contact from Nas, that's where the referees made the determination on the foul.
Reed chases down the rebound, so that'll be something to keep in mind if this game is close down the stretch. The Pistons out of challenges. How about Shannon squeezing that one through?
I mean, there's just not a lot of slowdown for Terrence Shannon. If there's an angle he can get his shoulders around, he's going to go to it.
Second year out of Illinois. Pistons out of control. Wolves gaining momentum. Randall won't take the three. Nice jab step. Randall with the finesse. Timeout Detroit.
This one, so good sign that the confidence in Julius Randle's offensive ability coming back.
They need that assertiveness in the absence of Anthony Edwards. Asar Thompson outside. Robinson cut off on the drive. Flips it up. No, but a foul. Robinson in his first season in Detroit.
Interesting year. He's shooting 10% better at home than on the road from the three-point line. So interesting to see if that trend continues come playoff time, but that's just a curious number.
And the Pistons eyeing that number one seed in the Eastern Conference. DiVincenzo's pass deflected, knocked out of bounds. There's 6 on the shot clock for the
Fast.
Conley tossed it up. DiVincenzo made the catch and lays it in.
Great balance, great control, and then a tough finish over Holland for Dante to collect two.
Minnesota 42, Detroit 41. Robinson lost it. Randall the other way. Randall, hard drive, outside look to Conley for three.
Great setup by Julius. Mike Conley with his feet set. And Detroit just some open court, kind of driving too hard, a little bit out of control. Turnovers are turning into points for Minnesota.
Conley in his 19th season out of Ohio State. Thompson in the lane, won't go. Wolves enjoying their largest lead of the night. Randall in attack mode in the hands of Conley. Back to Randall, back to the basket on the baseline. Little crab dribble on Thompson. Shoulder fake, fade away, short. Holland behind the back. Holland outside. Sasser, a no-dip three is short. And having
what I'm hopeful for, Grady, is that they're eligible to provide playoff moments for us. Get healthy, play at that level. Enough about the 65-game rule. It's just getting these guys back and on the floor to do what they do best, and that's lead their ball clubs.
Gobert can't hit. We know that both those guys make their respective teams championship contenders. A rifle pass. Robinson right between the eyes. DeSumo got it back from Gobert. Outside to Conley. Blocked. That was a volleyball rejection from Asar Thompson. Outside look. Javonte Green won't go during the offensive board. Pistons trying to regain the lead. Neither team is led by more than 6 as Gobert fouling. Shout out Ben Wallace. Talk about form.
We're not talking about when he gets home. He is sitting at his locker right after the game when guys are usually showered, trying to get out of the arena. He told me, I've always been that way, but I want to watch it when it's fresh, when there's plays that I know I want to look back at, and obviously those good habits are paying dividends.
No doubt about it. Here's DiVincenzo. Up top to Conley. Now it's DeSumo. Shot clock winding down on Minnesota. 4 seconds. This is Conley. Quick trigger. It's gone.
How much did Mike? Up 7 here.
Both teams shooting better than 50% from the floor so far in this first half. Rocket pass over to Duren. Toss it up. How about Thompson making a ridiculous catch? Going at DeSumo here. Dump off to Duren. Duren seeing the crowd. Thompson. Outside look. Green got it off. Well off the mark. Another rebound for Gobert. His 4th of the first half. And Jenkins slaps it out of bounds.
An out-of-bounds possession here.
Kyle Anderson on the drive. Step throw. Slow-mo. Can't get it to go. Pistons trailing by 7. Thompson. The turnaround game won't go. And DeSumo the other way. Pass up ahead. Gobert couldn't make the grab. It's out of bounds to Detroit.
You can see Minnesota is just really comfortable sitting back against this Detroit team. Other than Duncan Robinson, they're going to allow some of these guys to take shots, especially when Thompson and Green are out there sitting back, trying to collect any kind of action coming to the paint.
Again, Detroit beat Minnesota by 22 points on Saturday, outscoring the Wolves 60-32 in the paint. Shot clock winding down. Duren, long two. You'll see. Thank you so much, KP. DiVincenzo a three to start the scoring in the third quarter.
Yeah, the helpful thing is after Conley had that awesome first half for him, Dante DiVincenzo 0 for 5, Bones Highland 0 for 2. You got to assume that they're going to start to get back into the game. And so for Dante to hit that first one, maybe those two guys make up the difference in the second half of the scoring.
Again, Conley hit 4 threes in the first half. The Pistons, as a team, have only hit 5 for the ball game. Turnover, Detroit. DeSumo rims out on a tray. Long rebound, good hustle by Duren. Both big men going after it. Robinson, no hesitation, no good. Followed his own. Spinning and goes glass.
Yeah, Mike not able to box out on the perimeter, and Duncan knew that he had a chance at it. Went over the top of Rudy to get 2.
Robinson, a part of 6 postseason runs, 2 NBA Finals with the Miami Heat, and a veteran presence to the Pistons as Randall.
Matchup dependent, yes, but I understand what Chris Finch is saying. Just Julius trying to find some open space could help him get back in a great rhythm.
And he drew the 4th foul of the ball game on Duncan Robinson. This is Jenkins, not enough on him. Jenkins 3 for 8 in the ball game. Thompson over to Green. Green starting in the second half for Tobias Harris, who is out the remainder of the ball game with the left knee contusion. Pistons already without Cade Cunningham. Wolves without Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels. DeSumo can't hit from the corner.
Still producing some good looks so far, Grady, in the first couple minutes in the third.
Jenkins tied at 59. Second triple of the ball game for Danis Jenkins.
Got to assume that both Green and Reed maybe make up the difference in the minutes for Tobias Harris in this one, if not Ron Holland. But limited bodies now for J.B. Bickerstaff.
DiVincenzo, clock winding down. DiVincenzo, no. And Duren the board and will bring it up himself. Duren, a first-time All-Star this season, going at Gobert, lost it out of bounds.
That's going to be his 5th turnover in the game.
Robinson with those 4 fouls will sit down. Conley, 4 threes already, can't make it 5. Randall saves it to Gobert. DeSumo penetrating out to Conley deep in the corner, and he stepped out of.
Want to swing at it, he wanted to catch it.
Just the 5th turnover for the Timberwolves tonight against this stingy Detroit defense. Jenkins sees the sieve. Jenkins' confidence continues to be sky high. DeSumo looking for Randall, matched up with Thompson. Poke away by Thompson. What was the nickname again? Stop sign?
Stop sign. The NBA stop sign. Get it done again.
Inside Duren, surrounded by weeds on the floor, so it'll be a side out. Conley picked up his 3rd foul of the ball game. This is Herter working on Conley. Beautiful spin and finish. He's really settled in nicely.
Yeah, I think Herter lost his balance even on that play, but enough to see the rim and float one off the glass, which helps you in that situation.
7-0 Detroit run. Randall driving, pull up, count it, and put him on the line. In the NBA, that's where that bully ball is paying off. But he has not been able to complete either and one opportunity tonight. Pistons remain up by 2. Wolves have missed 5 free throws tonight. Jenkins under the basket, turns around, can't hit. DeSumo the board, pass up ahead to Randall as to chase it down in the corner. Randall, head fake through contact. That could have been another and one opportunity.
Absolutely, he got hammered that time, but no call, and the ball able to drop through for Randall.
18 points for Julius Randall on 7 of 12 shooting. Jenkins, around a Duren screen, over to Green, firing from distance, swish.
Tough shot by Green, the quick swing. He's able to knock it down.
He was 0 for 4 before that make. DiVincenzo can't answer. Duren with his 10th rebound of the ball game. It's another double-double for Jalen Duren, his 41st of the year. Can't hit the layup that time. Ahead to DiVincenzo. And a bounce pass knocked out of bounds. Since early November. Third, Gobert
don't know if that was an oop attempt or a missed layup, but it's Gobert there with the follow slam. Finishing on Detroit. Third best home record in the NBA this season.
It's been a remarkable climb, and I know some of the voices have changed around the Pistons, but the intention has not. As Trajan Langdon has done some great things to try to lead this team forward. They found their pillar in Cade Cunningham. They grabbed Jalen Duren and just building brick by brick here in Detroit. The new building, the new energy, and here they are, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Who would have thunk it? But they're doing it in a way that this fan base knows oh so well.
How about DiVincenzo?
Well, the things that Trajan did very well is you lose Michael Beasley, you lose Tim Hardaway Jr., and some of that three-point shooting. They go out, they get Duncan Robinson. At this year's trade line, they bring in Herter trying to address as Gobert throws another one down, but addressing their three-point ability to keep the court spread, to give weapons to Cade Cunningham. They've got an interesting roster that, again, will come out on a nightly basis and defend.
Herter, a mid-season acquisition from Chicago, continues to make his presence felt. He's in double figures.
It's the second time we've talked about either passing or shooting, but the player has done exactly what we're talking about. How about fast break finishing? Okay, I was trying to get ahead of myself.
Little half-court offensive set for the Pistons. Ends in a divide.
A lot of that happened in Chicago. Threes,
Right.
layups, transition. So Dosunmu has found his ability to get into the mid-range and make floaters acceptable by the staff to take the good. And he's very good at them.
Dosunmu with 8 points. Another long two, and Jalen Duren outside of his range that time.
Outside the paint again.
Highland struggled with this shot in the first half. This is Naz Reid. Kept the pivot outside to Dosunmu. Dosunmu now shadowed by Sasser. Shot clock winding down on Reid. Push shot, good.
There's some mismatches out there. 2 times Naz Reid with a smaller player on him ended up in that possession, getting that right side box position and scoring.
LeVert over to Duren. Duren muscling inside, and we'll go. Duren 1 for 2 so far at the line tonight. Make it 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, NBA TV, Pistons, Sixers. For all these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. And we've got an issue now. We're pushing and shoving. Sasser. Physical bad boy style.
And it feels like that's difficult to do in today's game, yet somehow they found a way to do it.
They don't shoot a lot of threes, what you see in today's game. What a pass! Blocked by Reid. Shannon. See if the energy and action picks up after the offsetting technicals. Oh, sky hook! For the Wolves, no Cade Cunningham for the Pistons, and the fourth quarter now underway.
Still impressed with all these possessions, just 7 turnovers on the road for Minnesota against this defense. That's helped them stay in it.
Thompson with the finish. Wolves have also taken advantage of Detroit mistakes. We mentioned on Saturday, they only had 7 points off of 20 Detroit turnovers. Tonight, they have 16 points off of Detroit miscues as Reid knocks in another from downtown.
JB upset that Asur did not get him off the three-point line and make him put the ball down.
Holland cuts it back and throws it down.
Not catching the hand on the way down, and Holland takes the brunt of that hit.
The animosity building here at Little Caesars Arena. Reid, that time he's long. Holland being checked out on the Pistons bench. We've had 11 lead changes in this one. Paul Reid. Hand off to Robinson. Robinson rolling to the rack. Missed the lay. And saved by Randall.
Look out.
Shannon. Ball gas. No brakes.
Full speed and just taking off.
Minnesota 85. Detroit 83. Both these teams looking for back-to-back wins. Pistons have won 3 of 4. 7 of their last 9. Jenkins can't go glass. Reid comes out of there with the board. Surrounded under the hoop. And
his foot.
Off.
Shuffle, too. Look at the quick inbound.
Well, I don't know that Asar established himself in bounds. Green, short on a 3. Conley the board.
There's a lot going on right now, Grady. That was a lot of rushed decisions for both teams, and you're right. Maybe Asur Thompson got away with an out-of-bounds violation.
Randall, attack mode. Randall had it poked away by Reid. And an open court foul.
3 and 4 nights for Detroit they've played, so
Yes.
we'll see. Will they wear down? Is there any wear and tear here?
Robinson, no. And
Anderson the board. This is an important game for both teams. Timberwolves trying to chase and get into that 5 spot as Randall is going to earn bones.
The Timberwolves will be facing the Lakers if they're able to catch at least the San Antonio OKC battle for number 1 is still as hotly contested as anything else for home court advantage all the way through. So teams that thought potentially those teams that locked up positions would rest, that is not happening. So much good basketball to come in the next week and a couple of days.
Wolves by 4. No team is led by more than 7. That is a beautiful finish from Danis Jenkins. He has 17. Conley on the move. Over to Reed. Naz Reed down the lane. Flips it up. It won't drop. Pistons can tie or take the lead. Robinson. Pocket pass. Ball Reed. Goes glass. Won't go. Naz Reed the board.
A bit frenetic here without the stars on the court to kind of conduct offensive possessions. It's going to come down to some execution and some good decisions to get ahead in this game.
Oh, beautiful feed. Anderson to a cutting Randall.
And that is a good decision. Great drop-off by Kyle and the timing on the cut by Julius Randle.
It's the first assist of the night for Kyle Anderson. There's so many things that don't show up on the stat sheets. Jenkins! Count it! That has been awfully impressive, again, especially in the absence of Cade Cunningham.
Might have all started back in November, too. There was a game in Washington where he hit 2 huge threes late to push a game into overtime, and they ended up winning, and it was like, who is this kid? Well, we know now.
Conley threw it right to Robinson. Duncan Robinson over to Thompson. Thompson spinning, finishing. Detroit on top.
Pretty with the left hand after the spin, just gliding across the lane.
Naz Reed. Reed, no. Pistons momentarily have numbers. Robinson, dump off. Dunn can't hit. Randall pushing the tempo. Randall rifles a pass to Conley. Up top to Anderson. Anderson outside, and he took an extra step.
I don't think he did there, Grady.
Only out-of-bounds calls, goaltends, or fouls are reviewable. Nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Robinson stopped. Over to Thompson. Now it's Holland now. Oh, inverted. Holland with authority.
Wow. Ron Holland, incredible control with his body. That just took off for that jam.
7-0 run, and Conley can't end it. Pistons on a 7-0 run. They lead Minnesota by 3. Jenkins, 20 points on the night, looking to add to it, can't do it. Duran, offensive board, and the big
shooting percentage is off the charts for Jalen.
3rd in the NBA in field goal percentage. Solid foul shooter, and good on both. The Detroit lead extends to 5. DeSumo forced to give it up. Naz Reed put it up, off, rebound Thompson. Jenkins over to Robinson, tossed it up. Oh no! If I raise up, gonna be trouble.
Wow.
11-0 Detroit run. And a
what a dunk that was.
Past the midway mark of the fourth. Minnesota trying to stop this Detroit run. And Randall is fouled.
Not that much, Jared.
Watch the rib.
Have a ton of playoff experience. So, DeSumo, a few games with Chicago Bulls in his rookie season. Danis Jenkins has not played in any playoff game. These elevated moments in fourth quarters and close games, carrying out the assignment and getting the job done, these are important for them.
Jenkins left it short. Duran with the hammer. He has been a problem on the interior. 20 points, 13 rebounds. Largest lead for Detroit. Gobert over to DeSumo. To Randall. Driving. Toss out. Extra pass. And Anderson.
In the last minute and a half.
Outside look. Holland well off the mark. Offensive board. Another look for Holland. That won't go. And Randall the board. Pistons 29-9 at home this season. DeSumo straight to the rack.
Wolves 21 and 15 on the road. 4:30 to go in regulation. 6-point game. Robinson to Duran, stripped by Anderson. Wolves running. Randall over to DeSumo. DeSumo lost it. Not great. Goes to the bench. Thompson. In the lane. Turnaround. Jay won't go. Duran couldn't control. March.
Yeah, unbelievable individual performance, but what it's done for the Lakers as Reed misses that three coming out of the timeout is how much trust as a team did the Lakers build during that month? I mean, there are great vibes, and they're as connected as they've been all year long with the playoffs rapidly approaching.
Lock in on that 3 seed.
And one of these teams, a good free throw shooting team, Detroit 26th in the league as a team at 77 have these opportunities to knock down free throws.
The Timberwolves knocked down 9 3-pointers in the first 2 quarters. Anderson across the timeline, over to DeSumo. Minnesota trying to apply some pressure down the stretch. Randall, over to DiVincenzo, tough pass. DiVincenzo on the floor, back to Randall, 5 seconds. Randall, pull up 3, no. Jenkins the board. Robinson for 3, yes!
Tough sequence for Minnesota, nothing out of bounds or the timeout.
And there's a foul on the play. DeSumo. Newcastle, New Hampshire, to Michigan, Miami, capable 3-point shooter.
And just his ability to help create space for Cade Cunningham as a guy who's a gravity player in this league. Just him being on the court is advantageous for the Detroit Pistons.
2:45 to go in regulation. 9-point advantage for Detroit. Looking for their 30th home win of the season. Jenkins, pull up, Jay over Randall is good. And their mouth has carried them throughout this entire season. They have been the top of the East since November 7th. Duran, hounded by Randall, spinning out of trouble. Duran, no good. And here comes Anderson the other way from Minnesota. Naz Reid picks up his dribble. Reid in the corner, takes his time and connects. 2-possession game.
And it took a little while for Naz to get his feet kind of aligned there and get on balance, but a huge three to keep the Timberwolves in this one.
His 4th triple of the night. He has 19 points off the bench. Jenkins. Weaving around traffic. Eyeing Randall. Rises. Yes! How tough was that?
Just awesome from Danis Jenkins. I mean, this is not ho-hum. 24 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. What a game.
DeSumo got the lay. For Detroit. We have a minute to go. Robinson. Back to Jenkins. 24 points tonight for number 24. Jenkins blocked by DeSumo out of bounds with 4.1 on the shot clock. Oh, inbound. Robinson missed the lay. Wolves with an opportunity. DeSumo lost the handle. Duran with the hands. Herter to Duran. No. Rebound, DiVincenzo. Inside. Randall, good position, lays it home. 8-second difference, shot and game clock. 4-point ball game.
Now Detroit, after the turnover, no business trying to go and score, so.
Duran. Off the mark, Anderson the board, and there's one of Randall. To Anderson. To DiVincenzo for 3. Well off the mark. Duran the board. There's the foul, and it's 7 on the year, 6th most in the NBA. 5 for 9 at the line. Splits a pair. Pistons by 6. DeSumo trying to make a play. Driving to the rim, lays it home, plus the foul.
Wow. Tomorrow night.
Yes. I hope that Anthony Edwards will be able to play in that one. DeSumo completes a 3-point play. Pistons without a timeout. They get it into Jenkins. Wolves need the foul, and there is the foul by Naz Reid. And so Danis Jenkins, who is 4 for 5 at
To him earlier, he said, I'm gonna wait it out a little bit, which is
It worked in his favor, and it's worked in...
And third in the West. So lots to still be decided.
The Sumo can't hit. And it's in 30 on the season. Again, what's most important for Minnesota is just avoiding the play-in, and they are...
Defense has grown for the Wolves playing without Ant, so signs of some improvement on that end. But yes, eagerly anticipating Ant being back into the lineup.
The Sumo got the lay. And inbound stolen. DiVincenzo over to Reed as time expires.